Hey everybody, welcome back to Dad Does Videos. Today we are going to be replacing a closet light with what you see on the screen. It's a new LED flush mount from a company called Altair Lighting. I picked it up at Costco for like 20 bucks. And it just does the basic job of lighting up your closet. We just got tired of what's in here right now, and that is your standard builder grade junky closet light. It functions perfectly fine, but we just wanted something else. And what we got, if you missed it, is an LED light, and the LED is already embedded in it, so there's no need to ever change the light bulb, and it lasts for some kind of ridiculous number of hours, like 30,000 hours, and it saves you money. So we'll be back with the first step. Okay, so step one, everybody. No surprise if you watch some of the other electrical videos I've done. Go down to your breaker box. It looks like this if you're not familiar with it. Typically it's in a basement or maybe a garage. Sometimes laundry room, I've seen them. And find the room that you're in and turn the power off. So for me, we are in the master bedroom. And as you can see here, that's number 23. Right there if you follow my shadow of my finger. So then you just match that up with your breaker box numbers over here, and it's a little bit hard to see, but it's right here, 23. They're just kind of engraved numbers on the side, so you're just gonna have to trust me because it's really hard to see. And you just flip it off. You just move it to the off sign, and that's it. And this way you can be safe and secure in the fact that there's no electricity flowing to your fixtures. Now, of course, you want to double check. These aren't perfect. You can see some of these are crossed out and other things moved in. So just to double check, when you go to start to work on your fixture, you want to turn that light on again with the switch in the wall and see if it turns on. If it doesn't, you're good. Back for the next step after you've shut off your electricity, and I double check the light to make sure it doesn't turn on when I flip the switch. So if you have an old fixture like this, what you want to do is unscrew these screws. There are 3 of them typically, one here, and one on the other side that you can't see. And by that, taking those out, just be careful because you'll have this glass ball. Those are the things that hold up the glass shade. So as you're doing that, kind of put a hand here to make sure you catch it basically when it starts to fall out. So we've got the shade off, and as you can see here, we have what's called the fixture pan. That's the white piece that's on the ceiling, and you can see 2 screws to the right of and right and the left of the socket. Basically, you need to twist the fixture pan so that the screws align with the other holes that are right next to them. Those are a little bit bigger than the holes they're into right now, and that fixture pan will basically start to fall out, and it'll still be connected to the wires above, but it gets you started on being able to remove that. I'll give you a look at what that looks like next. I twisted the fixture pan, as you can see it's hanging there by the wires right now. And this one over here and this one right here, those are the 2 screws that secured the fixture pan. So what you'll want to do next is take those 2 screws out. You could leave this metal bracket in because that'll secure your next light fixture. And also, you can't see them, but up here, you can start to see them. We're going to undo all the wire connectors as well. There's typically black goes to black. There's a white wire coming from the fixture into the ceiling. Those will be unscrewed too, white to white. And there's a ground wire. You can see it right here, copper, which is usually attached to another wire or circled around a ground screw, and it doesn't look like it's here, so it's probably up there. Okay, so I disconnected all the wires, and this is what we have left. As you can see here, this is the ground wire right here, this is the white wire right here, and this is black. And be careful, because oftentimes the black will kind of pose as white. They sometimes get some paint on these. If you can see it twisting this around, and it looks a little bit white. I think that just happens sometimes when builders paint. So just be careful. You can see I'm twisting it now. It looks white, but make sure it's the black wire when you reconnect wires. Black always goes to black, white to white. and then there's the ground wire over there. This is also a nice opportunity. You could see my bracket's a little bit loose. So just tighten up the screws, make sure it's really well secured to the bracket above. So we're gonna do that next, and then we'll break out the new fixture pan for the new fixture and see how that works. Okay, so now we're ready to start to mount the new fixture to the ceiling. Make sure you use the mounting screws that came with your new fixture. You can use the ones that you just took off from the old one, but usually the mounting screws are specific to the fixture that you bought. So, here's mine. There are a couple of these, and we're gonna put them in the inside holes. And what I mean by that is that one right there, and then that one right there. They measure about 2 3/4 inches across from each other, which is the distance on the fixture pan of the new light fixture. So it's always a good idea to measure those first to make sure your screws will line up. Okay, as you can see here, I've got my mounting screws into the bracket. I left a lot of slack in them because what's going to happen is we're going to have to leave room to fit them in the screw holes provided here. So you want a little wiggle room. One thing I can't stand about hanging lights is that you either need another person or some way to stabilize the light fixture while you connect the wires from the light fixture to the outlet box. So what I did to help myself here is grabbed a zip tie, you can see it up there, and just secured that to the mounting bracket. And that way I can use both my hands to connect the wires from the fixture to the bracket. So we're gonna go ahead and do that. Again, black to black, white to white, and then the ground wire from the ceiling to the ground wire, the green wire coming out of the fixture. Wires connected, you can see how black goes to black, white goes to white, and then the green one down here goes to the ground coming out of the ceiling. The way that you do those is you just line the two wires up next to each other and twist them around each other a little bit, and then use the connector, those are the orange things on the end, and twist clockwise while the two wires are wrapped around each other inside, and you'll feel it get tight. I like to put some electrical tape around them as well to make sure everything is secure. So what we'll do now is get rid of that zip tie and then use the mounting screws that are already on there and line them up right here, as you can see, with this side, so that they'll go through these screws. We'll have to find the two that are the right distance, and then we can show that what it looks like right before we tighten them up a little bit once this fixture is attached to those screws. So we've got our fixture pan up on those mounting screws, and you can see there's one right there, and then there's another on this side. Sorry for the movement there. So basically what you have to do is just find, you can see all the different places where your screws can go in. Just find the right distance where they match up, and make sure they go in where the hole is fatter, and then slide them around so that they're on the skinnier side of where that screw hole is. So now we're just going to tighten those up, because right now, I don't know if I could get a good shot of this or not, there's some distance between the ceiling and the light fixture. So once we tighten those screws up, there shouldn't be anything left here. Okay, so we've got our screws screwed all the way in. One there, and as you can see, well, at least you'll hopefully, it's pretty tight and flush with the ceiling, and that's what you want to shoot for. Just be sure it's like that all the way around. You have to trust me that it's like that. And what we'll do next is put our shade on, and ours just twists right in. Yours could be different depending upon the fixture, of course. Some of them are attached in other ways. But that's it, and then we'll turn the lights on and see if this thing works. Okay, we twisted in the shade. Everything looks like it's ready to go. I went down and flipped on our circuit breaker to this room as well. So all I have to do is turn the light switch on and we'll see what happens. Hey, there we go. LED light installed. Thanks for joining us. Don't forget to subscribe and like.